Times are tough and a lot of us are on a budget, but that doesn't mean we can't still enjoy some quality gaming experiences on the cheap. I've put together a list of 10 of the very finest indies you can purchase for under $5. That's less than the average coffee from Starbucks. We dug deep into the backlog to find you puzzles, platforming, laughter, chills, and thrills that won't require a second mortgage on your house. Without further ado, let the fun begin. A lot of the best budget indie games originate from game jams, and Fishing Vacation is no exception. What might look like an imitation Game Boy fishing sim at first glance very quickly dissolves into an unsettling horror experience with multiple endings for you to discover and a decent sense of humor to boot. You and a friend head to your uncle's cabin for some good old-fashioned fishing fun, but something definitely is amiss and your uncle has mysteriously vanished. What could possibly go wrong? A single run will only take you about 30 minutes to an hour to complete, but the song that accompanies the worm digging minigame will stick with you for the rest of your life. It doesn't hurt that the fishing itself is strangely satisfying and really addicting. At only $1.99 USD regular price, that's a scary good deal. We've mentioned this one in a list before, but it bears repeating. Lydia is a fantastic narrative-heavy game that tackles some really deep and important topics in an artistic and meaningful way. Play as Lydia, a young child whose life becomes a living nightmare due to the impact substance abuse has had on her family. The art is dark and atmospheric, but strangely beautiful, and the story is painfully real, especially since it's based on the developer's lived experiences as a child. It'll only take you about an hour and a half to complete the game, but don't underestimate the impact this one will have on you. It's been about 4 years since I first played it, and I still think about it very often. Mental health, substance abuse, and childhood trauma are such important topics, and it's rare to find a game that deals with them in a poignant and professional manner the way Lydia does. For only about $3.99, with frequent sales making it even less, this is one to try when you need an indie that's on the serious side. Up next is Divination, a bit of a fortune-telling simulator with a very peculiar yet intriguing narrative. As the diviner, you use the ancient runes to answer your client's questions amidst a cyberpunk backdrop. The individuals seeking your counsel aren't always human, but one thing remains consistent: their fate lies in your disembodied hands. Not only do you get to interact with clients, but you also get a glimpse at the state of this futuristic world through newscasts and other forms of media. The stylish anime art certainly doesn't hurt either. Divination is a one-of-a-kind experience that gives you quite the bang for your buck. While prices vary from PC to console, it is still incredibly reasonable on all platforms. This is the most fun I've ever had with $4.99, literally ever. That's not an exaggeration. I've yet to meet a single soul that can resist the simple yet addicting gameplay of Vampire Survivors. If you haven't tried it yet and you're judging it by the basic graphics and auto-shooting elements, I urge you to skip guacamole on a single Chipotle burrito bowl and give Vampire Survivors a shot instead. There is something so deeply satisfying about the overall progression, taking out unfathomable numbers of enemies without really having to put all that much thought into your gameplay. Once you develop a good strategy with your power-ups, the real fun begins, as you can become overwhelmingly powerful with the right combination of defense and weaponry. Honestly, this is my style of cozy gaming. It's simple, almost anyone can pick up and play it, but a victory remains incredibly satisfying. Over 200,000 positive reviews can't possibly be wrong, right? Check it out for just $4.99 and start living your best life. And while we're on the topic of turning our brain off for some satisfying gameplay, might I suggest you check out the infamous cookie clicker? This one might even be a bit more simple than Vampire Survivors because you're just clicking to make cookies. Not just a few cookies or a dozen cookies, an absurd amount of cookies. That's a lot of cookies. The more cookies you earn, the more cookies you can purchase. How many times am I gonna say cookies? I don't know, let's find out. There are mini games, over 600 upgrades, and a dragon? Yeah, it's a bit of a fever dream of a product, but there's no denying that it works. While there is a free browser version of this title, the reasonably priced Steam edition has community-made mods that enhance the experience even more. Look, I'm not gonna tell you that Cookie Clicker will change your life, but there's a lot worse that you could do with $4.99. Look, I told you at the beginning that we would be diving deep into the backlog, and I meant deep. Dead Pixels is a game that released on Steam in late 2012, where you have to take out hordes of undead zombies that are awakened by a toxic waste spill. At its core, Dead Pixels is a side-scroller with charming pixel art visuals and some minor RPG elements that make it a little more involved. Perhaps most importantly, Dead Pixels has couch co-op, so it's a great option to pick up when you're bored with a friend. Procedurally generated levels means that no two runs will be exactly alike, plus it's only $2.99. Hell, you can't even get a decent pack of gum for that price anymore. If Dead Pixels tickles your fancy and you're looking for more pixelated zombie action, you're in luck because Dead Pixels 2 was announced and looks like it takes all of the strengths of the original title to the next level. While we're on the topic of multiplayer games, here's a fantastic party game to inspire some fierce competition amongst friends. Stick Fight, the game, is exactly what it sounds like. A party game featuring stick figures with some absurd physics-based movements in all manners of wacky combat. No, you can't play this one alone, but it does have both local and online multiplayer for up to 4 players, so it's sure to ruin friendships and break up relationships as you duke it out in 100 built-in levels and hundreds of thousands of community-made levels. No, the graphics aren't breathtaking, but the game is fun and it's a great way to kill time and have some laughs in the process for the low price of $4.99. This may be the first piece of content you've ever seen from I Dream of Indie, or perhaps you've been around for quite a while and you're used to our nonsense, but I'd say that very few of you are around for the incredibly early days of this channel when the concept of I Dream of Indie games was just a podcast, and one of the first games we ever covered was Escape Lala II. Because of that, the Escape Lala series holds a very special place in my heart, and the second of the Escape Lala series is worth a mention for those that love retro-inspired point-and-click puzzle games. There's no deep and impactful story to decipher here, but there are some great brain-tickling puzzles with incredibly charming pixel art environments. The built-in hint system is also very effective, which really makes me wonder why more games don't take a similar approach. This one is for you precision platforming fans out there. Geometry Dash is a game that garnered a pretty significant following for doing what it does best, driving gamers insane with rhythm-based, fast-paced precision platforming action. I do believe that folks that love these types of games must have the most patience of all gamers in the world, because honestly, it's not easy to master these levels despite how deceptively simple the graphics may appear. There is also a ton of user-generated content here, or perhaps you're more of the designer type and you prefer to design your own. So much potential for hours and hours of entertainment at under $4. Last never means least here at I Dream of Indie Games, the production values on this $1.99 dystopian hidden object game are positively mind-blowing. Howdy Jacob puts you in the shoes of Chandler, the showrunner for Laugh Sale, a propaganda TV show that has just lost another cabin boy. You get called in on your day off to make sure things are running smoothly and to interact with the bizarre and often hilarious stars of the show. From beginning to end, Howdy Jacob plays like a fever dream, but the art is insanely detailed and vibrant. The acting is also top-notch, and the full-motion video bits are what really make the whole package a home run. It's a great game to chill and laugh with, and the price is ridiculously low. And with that, we've rounded out another fabulous list of titles. It was actually a fun challenge putting together this one, and I'd love to do more content like this if you found it helpful. Let us know in the comments below if we missed any must-play indies that are under $5, not that we need to add any more to the old wish list, but thanks so much for watching as always, and don't forget to subscribe, patreon.com/idreamofindiegames if you'd like to gain Discord access, early ad-free shows, shoutouts at the end of every video we produce, and even free games depending on the tier. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Hope you found the next indie of your dreams, and I will see you on the channel for more great content.